Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Prakash Kulkarni's Lectures. In this series of videos, we will be covering Karnataka State Syllabus Second Language English Grammar for 10th Standard students. These videos will be examination oriented. In this episode, we will understand and learn about figures of speech. In the previous, we have learnt about the poems, and figures of speech are related to these poems. So now let's go to figures of speech. Figures of speech is a mode of expression in which words are used in order to add beauty or emotional intensity or to transfer the poet's sense impressions by comparing or identifying one thing with another that has a meaning familiar to the reader. Some important figures of speech covered in the textbook are given here along with some other examples. The following figures of speech are covered in this episode. The first one is simile, then metaphor, next personification, next alliteration, and the last one is synecdoche. Of course, there are many figures of speech, but these are asked for you in the examination. Let's come to simile. Simile is a comparison between two things that have certain qualities in common. How to identify? Many students are asking me, sir, how to identify simile and metaphor? There is a confusion. Please note here. Now, in the bracket I have given, usually formed with like or as, like or as. If these words are there, actually they are prepositions. If they are there, you can identify it as a simile. Now let's study some examples here. In the beginning I have given general examples, and at the end I have given textbook figures of speech. First one, Tipu fought against the British like a tiger. Like a tiger, like. When like is there, definitely it is a simile. In the second sentence, her voice is as sweet as that of nightingale. When as is there, it is also a simile. In the third sentence, it was like a brief season in the hell. Now this sentence is taken from Grandma Climbs a Tree poem. This is from your textbook. In the fourth one, there he stands, see, like a black ancient mariner. Like is there, therefore this sentence is taken from Jazz poem 2 from your textbook. And in the fifth sentence, in the solitary confinement, as complete as any goal. Now as is there. Now this sentence is taken from the poem Off to Outer Space. Now I have underlined, if the sentences are taken from the textbook, I have given the name of the poem and underlined them. Concentrate more on them. In the sixth sentence, the quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven. As the gentle rain, as is there, therefore it is a simile. So in simile, like or as will be there. Coming to second figure of speech is metaphor. Metaphor is an implied comparison between two dissimilar things that have something in common. Now let us study some examples. In the first, all the worlds a stage. Worlds means world is a stage. Now the whole world is compared to stage, because here world and stage are two dissimilar things. In the second one, the classroom was a zoo. The classroom is compared to zoo. So here the classroom and zoo are compared by the poet. Therefore, it is a metaphor, dissimilar things. She is a peacock. Now a woman is compared to a peacock. A lady and a peacock are dissimilar. Now this is how it is compared. That is two dissimilar things. In the fourth one, the snow is the snow is a white blanket. Here snow is compared to blanket, white blanket. And in the fifth sentence, he is a shining star. So he and star are compared. That means he is the bright member of the family. In the sixth sentence, it is taken from the Blind Boy poem. Whilst thus I sing, I am a king. So here I means the poet comparing to king, two dissimilar things. Therefore, in metaphor, always there is a comparison between two dissimilar things. Coming to third one, personification. Personification is a figure of speech in which an inanimate object, means non-living objects or abstraction, is endowed with human qualities or abilities. For example, in the first sentence you can see, the stars danced playfully, as if the stars are living things. The stars danced playfully in the moonlit sky. In the second sentence, the video camera observed the whole scene. The video camera, as if it is compared to a person. It is a video camera is a non-living thing, inanimate object, but it is treated as a person by the poet. Therefore, it is a personification. In the third sentence, the daffodils nodded their yellow heads at the walkers. Now, daffodils, they are treated as persons like nodding head. In the fourth sentence, the book just begged to be read. Please remember here. Now usually a person begs for something, but here the book is treated as a animate object, even though it is inanimate. Therefore it is a personification. And in the fifth sentence, it is taken from the poem from your textbook, Ballad of Tempest. Hungry sea roaring, breakers talked with death. So please note here, hungry sea. We are hungry generally, but here the poet is comparing hungry sea roaring, breakers, that means wave breakers, talked with death. So this sentence is taken from Ballad of Tempest poem from your textbook. Similarly, sixth sentence also taken from I Am the Land poem. I wait, I lie patient, Carlot eyes, I stare, someone tickles me, a chain link necklace chokes me now. So here these two sentences are taken from the poem I Am the Land from your textbook. Next, we proceed to alliteration figure of speech. Alliteration is a word from the Latin language. It means putting letters together. The repetition of consonant sound, usually at the beginning of words placed close together for musical quality. For example, first one, World Wide Web, WWW, we can see begins with W consonant. In the second sentence, find 4 furry foxes. All the 4 words begin with letter F consonant. In the third sentence, you can see Peter Piper picked a peck of paper. They all begin with P letter. And fourth one, seashells on the seashore. Yes, repetition is there. And the last fifth sentence. This is from your textbook, Ballad of Tempest poem. To hear the rattling trumpet thunder, T, 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 T is repeated. And in the sixth sentence, again, Ballad of Tempest poem. Captain staggered down the stairs. Staggered stairs. Yes, yes. So this way, alliteration is a repetition of a consonant. And the last one is synecdoche. It is a figure of speech in which a part for the whole or the whole for a part is compared by the poet. For example, first sentence, he has many mouths to feed. So many mouths. So mouths, it is only part. It represents the entire family. Second one, India won the final match against Sri Lanka. Now please remember, not the whole of India. India, it is a team is representing entire India. It is a part. India is a whole. Therefore, India won the final match against Sri Lanka. In the third sentence, oh little red feet, why should you die? Now this is a sentence taken from John Keats' poem Dove. Now here it is not just feet dies, the whole body dies. Now feet is a part, whole body is a whole, part to whole. In the fourth sentence, the word sails is often used to refer to a whole ship. Sails means a ship. The phrase hired hands can be used to refer to workers. Hired hands means all the workers. Now, sixth sentence. It is taken from your textbook poem, Ballad of Tempest. Not a soul would sleep, icy hand. Now, soul here means all the crew in the ship. In the seventh one, all hands on deck refers to whole crew in the ship. All hands means all the crew members. And in eighth one, boots on the ground means it refers to soldiers. And in the ninth sentence, ask for her hand refers to asking a woman to marry. So, in the 10th sentence, new wheels, it refers to a new car. So, wheel is a part, car is a whole, part to whole it is compared. So, this way figures of speech are most important in poems. Now, after concluding this, thank you for watching this video. Please like and share the video. Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get updates on new videos. Thank you once again.